All right, guys. So I just stumbled across what is probably the most pathetic story I've ever heard in my life. Okay, I'm so serious. This right here is an embarrassment. I am embarrassed as a Black American to be reporting stories like this. As some Georgetown students, specifically Black law students that are part of the Black Law School Student Association at Georgetown, reportedly requested a place to cry and reparations because a not woke libertarian professor for suggesting that Biden picked the most qualified candidate for Supreme Court. Yeah, I know that is a radical idea in 2022. Okay, this is extremist talk. Picking the most qualified candidate for a job is extremist talk in 2022, guys. Okay, right? So these people got so triggered and so hurt by what this dude said that they demanded a place to cry and reparations because their feelings were hurt. Guys, this is a real story, and there's actually videos to go along with this, okay? There's videos to go along with it, right? So before we get into this, I just want to remind you guys, if you want to support the channel, if you want to support what I do, you can do so with the links in the description below. You can support the PayPal, you can support the Patreon, you can support the merch. There are multiple ways that you can support if you would like to support my channel and what I am doing. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this. Students at the Georgetown University Law Center reportedly requested a place for them to cry Monday as the school's dean addressed the controversy surrounding incoming lecturer Ilya Shapiro. Shapiro, a legal scholar with the libertarian think tank, the CATO Institute, is in hot water after he tweeted criticism of President Joe Biden's commitment to name the first Black woman to the Supreme Court. Biden made a promise during his presidential campaign, but the opportunity to honor it was presented last week when Associate Justice Stephen Breyer announced he was stepping down. Biden quickly confirmed the next jurist on the high court would match his criteria, which led to criticism from Shapiro, who tweeted, quote, objectively, best pick for Biden is Siri Srinivasan, who is a solid progressive and very smart. Even has identity politics benefit of being first Asian, Indian, American, but alas doesn't fit into the latest intersectionality hierarchy, so we'll get lesser Black woman. Thank heaven for small favors. Because Biden said he's only considering Black women for SCOTUS, his nominee will always have an asterisk attached, fitting that the court takes up affirmative action next term. So the controversy here, guys, is that people thought that what he was saying is that Black women as a category were lesser than other groups, right? But that's not actually really what he was saying. What he was saying is that he believes that the best candidate is an Indian person, right? And what he's saying is that anybody that Biden picks would be a lesser candidate because he feels that that's the best candidate. That's what he's saying. He's not trying to smear Black women as lesser qualified in general, right? That's not what he's trying to do here. But, you know, here's the thing. The left, when it comes to stuff like this, they're going to use any opportunity they can to essentially try to cancel somebody because their feelings got hurt, right? When the guy is 100% right in regards to what he's saying. Because of Biden's criteria, any Black woman that he chooses, people are automatically going to say this person was not qualified, right? Or they were not the most qualified candidate. If he just would have shut up and not tried to work virtue signal and just pick the Black woman anyways, without telling the world that he's going to pick a Black woman, I don't think people will be asking these questions. But here we are. Shapiro later apologized, but doubled down on his message that he feels it is unfair to other potential candidates for Biden to focus only on replacing Breyer with a Black woman. Shouldn't apologize at all, right? Rule number one, never apologize to the woke mob because the woke mob will not forgive no matter how much you apologize. Georgetown Law Dean William Trenner announced on Monday that Shapiro, who has yet to come before students, was suspended pending an investigation. So this dude is incoming. He hasn't even given a lecture yet. And it was like, no, we got to suspend this guy to investigate some tweets, right? Some tweets in which this dude is basically just saying, listen, I just want the most qualified person to be on the court, right? And it just so happened that this person checks a box for identity politics. It's just that they're not high enough on the victimhood hierarchy, right, to satisfy the Biden administration. That's all he's saying. But apparently this requires an investigation. Nate Hochman with the National Review reported that Trenner addressed a black student group in person Monday after a sit down was requested so a quote unquote reparations package could be discussed, Hochman wrote. Dean Trenner himself was front and center, accompanied by Mitch Balin, GULC's Associate Vice President and Dean of Students, Sheila Foster, the Associate Dean for Equity and Inclusion, and Amy Osman, the Director of the school's Mission and Ministry Program. A chastened-looking Trenner spent more than an hour answering questions for what happened to be the BLSA leadership team in a closed auditorium. The dean, striking an apologetic tone, echoed the language of the activists in control, assuring the assembled students that he was appalled by the painful nature of Shapiro's tweets and promising to listen, learn, and ultimately do better. Again, he sounds like a weak leader. He sounds like somebody that should be fired, right? You should be fired. But anyways, there's video of this, and I want to go ahead and play the video of these students demanding reparations for getting their feelings hurt.
Coming back to this reparation thing, because like this is great, but we have to do so much work to catch up for all this stuff that we missed. All I'm saying is I don't know if it's a couple dinners or lunches or something, but that would help us because I can't go home for lunch now because I need to study. I have to make up for this class that I lost. So it's little things like that. It doesn't have to be something that takes a year to figure out. It's like we know our black students or whatever group is hurting, and we're going to give them things today, whether it's snacks, whether it's counseling, whether it's whatever. But a part of that trust is to see an immediate reaction to what we are saying. But food would be great.
We have food on the way.
All right.
All right. Isn't that pathetic? Right? Isn't that pathetic? Okay. It's the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. You're in law school. Okay. You're aspiring to be a lawyer, right? You know, a job, a profession in which literally you are required to hear, opinions that you don't agree with, right? You're literally signing up to hear opinions that you don't agree with, but you cry and you break down because somebody says something that you don't agree with. And again, it doesn't make sense. Sounds to me like you shouldn't be a lawyer. Sounds to me like you should drop out of school, right? Maybe you should be expelled for even demanding something like that. Okay, you don't have the cojones, right? You don't have the wherewithal to navigate the law profession. If a tweet can hurt your feelings like this, I really don't understand. Why did you sign up for this job? Hochman further reported that Trenner received lukewarm reception as students had questions about Shapiro's presence on campus, as well as concern about the school's commitment to diversity. Okay, so here they go. Basically trying to counsel the man, trying to say, hey, he shouldn't be a professor here. He shouldn't teach here because he thinks differently than we do. Per Hochman, some students were so emotional, they requested a proper place to cry. At another juncture, a student demanded that the dean cover for the classes that the activists had missed as a result of the sit-in, suggesting that the move should be a part of a reparations package for black students. She followed up by insisting that students be given a designated place on campus to cry. Is there an office they can go to? She asked. I don't know what it would look like, but if they want to cry, if they need to break down, where can they go? Because we're at a point where students are coming out of class to go to the bathroom to cry. Bro, I'm embarrassed. Okay, I am embarrassed as a black person in this country right now. Black people are not this weak, I guarantee you. These are a very small minority, right? This is a very small minority. We built better than this, okay? So let's go ahead and play a video of one of the adults in the room, because everybody else in the room that were complaining were children, responding to these students' request to have a place to cry.
It's really hard to walk out carrying. It is really, really hard to walk out of class or a meeting in tears. And you should always have a place on campus where you can go and feel like you're not then also under people's eyes and observation. Maybe you don't want to answer a question of what's going on or what's wrong. And if you're finding that you're not getting the person you want to talk to or not getting a space that you need, reach out to me anytime. And we will find you space and we will find you the right space.
Guys, ain't that pathetic? Right? Ain't that just the saddest thing you ever seen in your life? Right? How in the world can you even entertain this type of stuff? Like, if I was running the Georgetown Law School, I'd be like, y'all need to go to class or you're going to be expelled, right? Period. I'm not entertaining this, okay? People have a right to freedom of speech. They can say what they want, okay? And if you can't handle somebody's freedom of speech, then you shouldn't be a lawyer, right? You shouldn't be a lawyer. But again, this is what happens when you get in bed with the woke revolutionaries, right? You have to bend to their every demand. And these people get hurt by literally anything, okay? And they're going to boo-hoo and cry and whine about it. And guess what? Now you got to deal with it. But hey, this is what you get when you're committed to diversity, right? When you're letting people who may or may not be qualified to even be in the Georgetown Law School get into the school, and now they think that they run the place. They can dictate who can teach at the school and who can't teach at the school. Again, it's ridiculous. Instead of being focused on going to school and actually learning, I mean, these students are probably paying tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to be there, okay? You would think that number one concern would be learning, right? Rather than what some professor is tweeting about. But hey, like I said, man, you know, this right here is sad. I hate seeing this. I really do. Because this is just embarrassing. It really is. It is an absolute embarrassment. And it is more embarrassing that the administrators are even entertaining this stuff, okay? When you entertain this stuff, you embolden this type of behavior. It's sickening, man. It really is. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.